Good morning, Flosstube. Today is September 7th, 2021. This is Becky, the South Texas Stitcher. Excuse me. And this is Flosstube number 24. I had to go look it up. I started this already once before and all of a sudden it hit me. I don't know what I'm doing. Which does not surprise me one bit. I was on a Zoom last night and they were laughing at me because when I zoom in a middle bedroom, there's a day bed on there. Well, I had thought I had put my project on the day bed and then I couldn't find it. And they said, didn't you do this before? And I said, yes, but this is normal for me. So I found it. It was not on the day bed. It had slid between the arm of my stitching chair and the pillow and the cushion. So I did find it. So that was a pleasant surprise. Sometimes you need a pleasant surprise. This may be, I should have one more Flosstube after this, hopefully. I usually try to do these at least once a month. I am not a fast stitcher, so y'all probably don't care to see the same thing over and over again. But I say that because they discovered I have an issue with my aorta, and they want to do major surgery where they're going to cut open your chest, break the breastbone open, and play with your heart kind of surgery. And I doubt I'm going to feel like doing anything for a while after that. I don't have a date yet. They have to do some more tests. I'm really hoping that the tests come back and say, you know what? You're not as bad as we thought. We're going to wait and see. Which will kill my husband because he's tired of waiting to see. He just wants everything fixed now. I really don't want them cutting open my chest. I mean, don't get me wrong, but yes, I want to be healthy, but I don't want to have a huge scar down the middle of my chest. I have a great cleavage. Ha ha ha. Anyway, I don't know when that's going to be. I know I have 2 more tests in September. They're looking at maybe late September, early October, excuse me, going the wrong month, going the wrong direction. We will see how that goes. What is happening is my aorta is expanding, which is not good because if it expands too far, it will rupture, which means then I would just drop dead. This is why my husband wants it fixed now. That just does not sound pleasant to me either. So yes, I want it fixed. I just don't want the scar. My thought was, in all of today's technology, we still have to go through and make big cuts on your chest and break the bone and all that. It's like, can't we be like Star Trek where they just go with the little tricorder and fix it? That's what I want. That's the kind of surgery I want, where they just wave a little wand over you and fix it. Well, to go on, let's do some stitching here. I actually have a few finishes. They're smalls though. They're not anything spectacular. I have a whole bunch of large projects going. Excuse me, my eye is itching. My mother used to always tell me you're going to be pleased if your eye itches. And I told her, yes, I'll be pleased when my eye stops itching. So that's my take on the old wives' tale. This is my hanger of finishes. Excuse me. This is one finish. This says, way up high on the Christmas tree, 5 little candy canes winked at me. And you can see the little candy canes. I don't know if you can tell, but I did the tree in 699 Etoile. This is not just a plain old, I guess there's a little shimmer to it there. I wanted it a little sparkly. This is DMC gold. This is not Petite Treasure braid, which every time I stitch with this kind of stuff, I remind myself why I like Petite Treasure braid that much more. This is done on a piece of dyed fabric that I did. It's just 14 count Aida that I found wadded up in my mom's garage, and I dunked it in tea, and I forgot that I had dunked it in tea and left it for a day. That is why it is so dark. And then I baked it. But that's what it is. This was a pattern I won from Nisi Lynn. And when I posted on her Facebook page the other day, Needlework and Niecy Lynn. Several people asked about it, so she has put it on her Facebook page. You'll have to kind of look for it. She tried to create an Etsy store. Etsy says this is copyrighted. They say it's a song. I have never heard of this song. Some lady said it was a children's song. I don't know. I have never heard this song. I don't know what it is. Anyway, I won one of her giveaways back in January-ish, I think. I finally did it. And when you finish it, because part of the set that I won was she sent the box that she finished it into, and this is recessed, so you can put something in here. And this sits inside here, and I have to paint it still. And I have the paint. That's going to be a project for today, I think, is to paint my box. And it's going to be red, and then this will sit inside the box. But this is from Niecy Lynn. She designed it herself. As I said, if you go to Needleworks and Niecy Lynn on Facebook, she's putting it on there because Etsy wouldn't let her sell it on Etsy. She tried to open an Etsy shop, and they wouldn't let her do it. And then they completely removed her because she had another pattern she was going to put on there, and she never could get it to work. So she just said, never mind. But yes, this was from her. Then this is the second thing I finished. Sideways. Let me turn it correctly here. This is March. This is Beggar's Luck by Threadwork Primitives. I have finished Beggar's 4th. That was the patriotic one for the 4th of July. This is for St. Patrick's Day. Oops. The other ones I think y'all have already seen. This is the one for St. Patrick's Day. This one fell into my I can't stitch anything mode in March. Because I started this in March. I think I started on March 1st and was going to have it finished by St. Patrick's Day, which is the 17th. Because this is not a big project. And I did the American one, the Beggar's 4th. I think I did it like in 3-4 days. So I thought, oh, I got plenty of time to stitch this, frame it up, and get it on the wall. Because I was just going to, I have one spot, and there's several of these, and I'm going to rotate them out. And March hit, and my stitching mojo just went, and that was it. So this was a victim of my I can't stitch in March. So there it is. I used the called for colors. Yes, all the called for colors. And there was only 4 colors. There's only 4 colors in that. But I think I love this series that she has. I do have her next one, but I have an issue with it that I have to take care of before I can start it. Oops. And here's the last one. This one I finished. This was a free pattern from Renato Parolin on his website. He has several free ones on his website. I thought, y'all will laugh at me, I thought it was about this big. Because there's no measurements. The grids aren't even measured. Excuse me. So I was just kind of stitching it with the pattern that he had. So that is it. It's called Autumn. It was in Italian. Do not ask me to pronounce the Italian for autumn. It looked like Autunno or something like that. I thought that was very pretty. Once again, that is on the 14 count hand-dyed fabric that I did. It was a big chunk of Aida. And it was so old, it wouldn't even unfold. It was cruddy. And it had a big watermark on it, or a stain of some sort. I'm going to say it was water because I don't want to know what it was if it wasn't water. Did I get it into this? No. One of my pieces has got part of that watermark. It makes a big V that comes down like this. But that is Autumn by Renato Parolin. And it didn't take me too long to do that. I was stitching only in the evening, so it took me longer than if I had not been working. Um, the place that I work technically 3 days a week, which gives me 2 days to stitch, which I really like. Well, there's 2 of us who do this because we job share, and we're either there Monday, Tuesday, we're both there Wednesday, and then once again Thursday, Wednesday, Friday. That way we each have 3 days. We can catch up on Wednesday and move on. Well, she got sick, and she was out, and her son got sick, not COVID, but other things. So she was out for a little more than a month. So for the last month, I have been working almost every day, except I had to take off when I had all these doctor's appointments. And then I told her, I said, well, I guess you're going to get paid back for your month off because I feel bad, but I'm going to be out for 2 months if they do the surgery. So anyway, it cut into my stitching time, and I was not able to get some of these done as fast as I thought I was going to be doing. Also, I was not able to go to my LNS, and I want to go to my LNS, and it's just been like, I must go. Excuse me. I had a string get caught on the tripod. So I would like to go and go to my LNS and all that. I would go this Thursday, excuse me, since this is Tuesday, I would go today, except my LNS is closed on Mondays and Tuesdays. And then I won't have another free day for quite some time because next Tuesday, they have me coming in and do a COVID test before a surgical procedure, and then you have to quarantine until the procedure is done. So that means I have the COVID test on Tuesday, and I can't do anything until Thursday after I have the test. But the test is the kind that I can't move my leg because it's going to be a cardiac catheterization, and you can't move around a whole bunch after that. So that means I'm stuck at home again for another weekend. So I've just been having so much fun. Anyway, I have 2 more finished objects. They're not fully finished yet. Excuse me, I got cat hair on me. Let me get a piece to show you how these are supposed to be finished. Just a moment. Let me pause this. Well, instead of pausing, I hit the off button. So, sorry. We will just take up where we left off. So anyway, I have 2 more finishes. They're not fully finished yet. This is how they come out when they're finished. This is my October, which I've already kind of got out in my my stand, my 2-tiered stand, to give myself some fallish looking stuff. There's a little cardinal right there because this is by RedBird Designs. You can get RedBird Designs from 3 Stitches in Spring, Texas. Then, let me just use this. This is August, which of course, now it's too late to hang up August. But that is August, the chili peppers. And of course, and there's a RedBird in each one of these. So there's August with the RedBird. And this one is Thanksgiving, November. Once again, there's the RedBird. It's a wagon full of pumpkins. And and then I have a board that's painted like the flag of Texas, hanging down, with the star, of course, at the top. And then I have these finished off. There's a piece of felt over the back, and so you can see that right there. There's a washer, and I have a magnet glued to the board that looks like the flag of Texas, and I hang one of these for each month on my Texas flag, and then I can just switch them out, and that's my Texas decor for the seasons. This goes there. These go back into here. And I have all the months, almost all the months done. I still have to do, let's see. It's got thread in front of the way. I still have to do May, A Long and Winding Road. I like that song. And then I have to do June, which was just some little birds on a birdhouse. September, which I probably should do for right now, is a stitching bird. He's got a needle in his beak. And my L&S, when I bought these, which of course is closed now, they would give you the extra piece of floss. Like the bird's got that green thread, they would give you the extra floss to do that. And then I need to do December. In December, I don't know if you can see the words. It says Texas, Merry Texas behind the bird. And I have to do the Texas still. So I have 4 more to do. And then I'll have the whole year season done. And it's in my bluebonnet bag that I made. I do have the fabric for August. All these chili peppers. When I saw that fabric, I went, yes, must have this fabric. That's all my finished pieces. And once again, as I said, they were all smalls. I don't have anything big done at this moment. Ugh. Chekhov has been touching everything here lately, and he's got his fur on everything. I haven't been anywhere because, as I said, I've been working. So I do have a little bit of haul, though, not a lot. Let me show this, though, when I show you the pattern, so you'll understand why. This, as I said, Chekhov's on everything. This I found at Michael's. This is a new box from DMC. DMC. I love these boxes. I have the 2 long ones, the one with all the etoile, and then I have the other one that has all the new colors in it. And then I have this one. This one comes, I'll just show you the back of this. This one comes with all those colors in it that are free pattern. Actually, 2 free patterns. I can't show you the patterns because they don't have a picture of it. They just have the pattern itself. Excuse me, my head was to... But during Christmas times, you know, everybody just talks about they have a hard time finding certain colors. This came with all the colors for the patterns that they sell you in this. And there's all the reds and the blacks and the grays. So that's what's in here. So if you are having trouble finding some of these specific colors, there they are. It's B5200, 712, 01. And I know I have seen a lot of people talking on Facebook lately about what is 01. 01 is this very light gray right there. DMC has a new set of numbers, and they do start with 01. And then it goes up to, it escapes me, but I know I have 28 and 29, and I know there's like a 40 and a 50. So I think it's like 60 new colors. And so instead of trying to work them into the 3000s or whatever, they just went back and made them 1 to whatever they go to. But it's 318, 414, 317, 413, $37.99, which I never can find $37.99. Of course, 310, 816, and 666 for Christmas. And there's even more on the second level. So you have a lot of black in here and a lot of white. And I know people talk about how they can't find black all the time. I have gone to a place, I usually have a black stash someplace, so I haven't had that issue yet. But I have been there to the Michaels and to Joann's and Hobby Lobbies and stuff like that when I would walk over by the needlework stuff, and yes, 310 was completely gone, especially now during Halloween. I have bought an anchor, excuse me, I bought an anchor spool of black, and I have tried it a couple of times. In fact, my kitties on this were in the anchor black because everybody kept saying anchor black covers better than 310. To be perfectly honest, I found it covered just as well, but it stitched up nicely. So I was pleased with it. So now I have a spool of Anchor Black if I run out at a 310. So that was my kind of haul. So, oh, because this is a 1-for thing, I want to congratulate Grandma Starbuck. She won this. She's another Becky. She won the Nativity set. I have not mailed it to you yet, Becky, because I have to find something to mail it in because I don't want this damaged. So I need to find something to put this in. I think I'm going to have to go get one of those special mailers from the post office to mail this off in. But if you've never been to a mailbox, to a mail station in San Antonio, you haven't lived. You can stand there for hours waiting to get the right thing. In fact, there's a big issue right now about our mailing. So, anyway, let me move on before I digress into the complaints of the Postal Service. Let's see. Oh, here it is. I do have 2 other things that are new. But before I show them, I want to show you this pattern first because I need to get your opinion. Let me take this out of the plastic so you don't get a glare because I can tell it's glaring at me and I'm sitting right here and I know what it looks like. Excuse me. My head was perfectly fine until I turned on the camera. I turned on the camera and my head went nuts. Okay, this is Beggar's Night. It's the 3rd one I want to do, and from that series. This is done in all DMC, and that orange is, I want to say it's 301. I think it's 301. But it's just a solid orange. All of this one is done in DMC. See, there's no variegation to that one. The pumpkin is white. And I have the remainder piece of Beggar's Luck to put it on. I don't know what this is. It is a very loose weave, and it's a pain in the rear end to stitch with. And as you can see, it unravels at the drop of a hat. So it's definitely, I had to make sure I definitely zigzagged it, but I do have enough of it. This is the kind of fabric that you go to pull your needle up, and if you let go of the needle before you get all the way up, it slides back down and drops. Not fun. So I have the fabric, but I'm thinking that orange is going to be orange. Not being an orange person. Oh, there it is. DMC, because as I said, I haven't been able to go anywhere. And I had purchased this when I was doing the autumn from a Renato Parallel. I thought maybe I might do this for one of the pumpkins, but I didn't. This is a DMC, what do they call them? Colorist? I think this is what they call a colorist. Anyway, it has got some dye to it. Some over-dyedness look to it. And I'm thinking of doing that orange and that and giving it some distressed look to it. Or, and I'm sorry, I'm having to pull Chekhov's fur off of these because he laid on my stuff. He'll lay anywhere else, but the minute I pull out things, he wants to lay on my stuff. This one is 4130. This one has got a little green to it. This is 4135. I don't know if I want to do that to give it more of a pumpkin, you know, with the stem look, or just the orange variegated. And you can see that they are very nice together even. I would not put these together because I'm not going to deal with that. My brain would shut down and scream and run away. So I'm thinking of doing that. I think I'm leaning more towards this one to do all of this, the orange. In fact, I think I'm going to leave that out, and I may start that when this is over. So we'll just put that baby up and keep this one out. But that is my future project, and I want to get it done before Halloween. Unlike my family, yes, there's like 0.5% strain of Irish in us, and well, maybe it's a little more than that. I think it's Irish. It may be Scottish. I'm not sure. I just remembered the woman had red hair. She was born already here in the States. She came from the back hills of North Georgia, back when the Cherokee were still very prevalent in Georgia. And supposedly the family history is a Cherokee brave came upon her, loved her flaming red hair, and took her home and kept her. And that's how we have that grouping of Cherokee and either Scottish or Irish. I want to say it's Irish in our family. It may be Scottish. I don't know. I haven't looked at the genealogy in a long time. I know my daughter does it now. So anyway, moving on. Let's see. The rest is things I have been stitching on that you probably have already seen, but I actually made progress on them. And then I do have a couple of new starts. So my first, is it going to ever get caught up? I don't know. But I actually put in some more stitches in my Modern Folk Embroidery. I did all of this into here. This is the one that disappeared on me last night. It was like, I had the hoop. I was like, I have the hoop. I have this. Where'd my piece go? Could not find it. Had the pattern. Couldn't find the fabric, but I finally found it. But yeah, this is what I have stitched on since I think I last showed you. I think last time I just had this flower. I don't know why I cannot get March done. It's not that big. It's not even that much left to stitch. But my brain just does not want to work on March. Who knows? Excuse me. Then this, let me take off this. Taking off one of these. I got this on Amazon. These are Smart and Cool. These are the 7.5-inch ones that they go around your Q-snap and your hoop and hold a lot of fabric. People are always asking, but I got those for Amazon. And I have been working on my Southern Land from Owl Forest Embrodiery. I finished, this is a whole page. This section here is a whole page. And so now I have officially done all of the bottom pages, and I'm now into the middle row pages. So, and then this is what I worked on last. I finished this. Oh yeah, I've done a lot since y'all have seen this. I've done technically everything across here. All the flowers, all this border, or all this motif, all these flowers. Because last time I showed you, I think I had just the band here, and then I had the two like poles of flowers, or whatever those are. But yes, so I have done a lot more on my my Owl Forest Southern Land. I do love this piece. I love the fabric. I don't know. I think this fabric must be a Access Commodities. It just feels wonderful, and it stitches up so nicely. And I love Access Commodities for that reason. It feels great, and it stitches nicely. And yes, there's some slubs and some thin lines, some thin strands through it, but they're not consistent. So, I mean, if you find one, you're like, oh, it's one of those places you just have to be careful when you stitch on it. But that is my Southern Land. My problem with stitching some of this is that I have it in a binder, and I also have it on Pattern Keeper, and I can't put the binder standing up because Mr. Butthead Checkoff wants to knock it over, and I can't stitch with it on my Pattern Keeper because I want to stitch with it next to me, and then my phone wants to knock over. It's just me. It's one of those deals where I just don't have a happy medium in stitching with it. I did not get the kit from Owl Forest Embroidery. I'm one of those people, if I can download the pattern and then go find fabric or floss and fabric on my own, I will do so. So that's what I did. And I tried to match it up as well as possible because I loved the colors that they did. So I got Weeks Dye Works Grenadine, and then Weeks Dye Works Blue Jay. And at this moment I have 4 of each one, so I'm hoping they all work. And then I have Classic Colorworks Old Blue Jeans. It's getting tangled. And then I have Louisiana Hot Sauce from Weeks Dye Works. And the pattern's in Russian, but it gives you the DMC. That's the only thing I recognized mostly out of the whole pattern was DMC, and it had numbers. I recognize that. So I pulled the DMC colors. Then I went over to the big wall that used to exist at Stitches from the Heart when it was still open, and I matched the colors as best I could. And to be perfectly honest, it was almost identical to each one of these, and was able to match the colors of the pattern online, and I love it. If you want to see one of these completed, the Mischievous Stitcher, Lori Smith, I think her last name is Smith, she has one finished, and hers is just stunning in my opinion. Then I have just a couple of more here. Last night I started out on my Patriotic Bison. This is from Artist Design, Amanda May, and of course that's fabric from there down, so you're stitching from the grass line up. And I started on that. It was a kit. I have to tell you, I'm not fond of this fabric. It's some kind of 16 count Aida. I don't like the color, so I may not do much more than this, but there is the I did the beginning of this little flower pot with the poppies, and then a little bit of the grass, and I put the first 2 of his feet in there. I don't know. I may continue on. I don't like restarting, but yes. So I have his hoofs and a flower pot beginning on there. Each piece of this pattern has something to do with America. There's the eagle, the flag, the bison, the salmon for the Pacific Northwest. It has the stars, the mountains, the flowers. It has a pine tree and an oak tree to show, the different sides of America. And of course the poppies for fallen soldiers. And you can't see it very well. Well, I guess right there. That is stars, just not hundreds, but lots of gold stars. Everything is done in sulky. As I said, I bought the kit, so everything that I got was sulky floss, and it came with the sparkly floss for the stars, and some sparkly thread for the I think this is for the bottom. Yeah, this is for his bottom, for the water for the fish. And then there was another piece. There's a blendable for the eagle with thread stuck on it. And this is, I think this is it. No, this is it. This is a new kind of floss. It's called Filaine. It is slightly fuzzy. This is for the bison's face to give him a little bit of texture for, you can see it's slightly fuzzy. And that's not because Chekhov was on it. So, so it's going to be an interesting piece to stitch. I'm not, as I said, I'm not so keen on that fabric though. Shows my age that I used the word keen. I laughed. Somebody the other day was talking about words that you use that you know, are not popular anymore, and that's probably one of them. I started this. I don't know if I showed you this as my last one or not. This is Cornwall Cottage Sampler by Rosewood Manor. I love this. I love the colors. It's all these cranberry type colors. So I have started, and I am doing this on, I think, a 40 count. Yes, this is 40 count Newcastle antique white. So it's going to be smaller than what it shows in the picture, because I think they have it. Okay, they haven't framed. I've seen people making it as pillows, but mine's not going to be that big. My thought was, I'm not stitching that much and then letting somebody sit on it. So no. And my family doesn't care if I stitch it or not. They're going to sit on it. And then I got the called for colors. Aren't those just beautiful together? They just go, wah. Let's see. I can't get this one to show up. There we go. It's got that gold in there also. I think those are just beautiful colors. When I saw it, my thought was, that is beautiful. I want to do that. And then I said, no, I don't need another big thing like that. And then I went and bought it. And I was like, well, now I bought it. Now I got to kit it out. Who am I kidding? People talk about stitch all the things. Mine is stitch all the big things. So then this is a new start. Let's see, do I have the picture? I think I have the picture. Yes. Ugh, my nose. This is another Owl Forest Embroidery. Once again, I downloaded the pattern, so this is from my print job, so it's not very good. The orange spots are not from them. They're from me. They wanted you to stitch the whole thing in one color, but in their little teeny, look at these other pictures to show Pattern's done, they went and did every acorn in an orange. I loved the one with the little orange. Excuse me. So I went, so here's my start. I always start in the bottom left corner, and I bought a gazillion, it felt like, 24 skeins of Desert Mesquite from Classic Colorworks. And it tells you how many, this one had more English on it. And it tells you how much floss that you need per color. And you have to look, it's not on the printed copy, it is online that it tells you all that. And then that is the orangey that I picked out. This is a Threadworks, and this is 1077. So it's Desert Mesquite and 1077, and I thought those were beautiful together. I wanted to get some more done on this so that I can get one of the acorns started so I can see what it's going to look like, because I think it's just going to make me smile all over. Oh. So, as I said, I didn't have a lot to show you. Yes, that is everything I had brought out. I do have my unicorn tapestry. I'm going to post a picture of it probably here and show you the unicorn tapestry that I'm working on. I was all excited because I have reached the top, and there's this vine that does this little swirly thing, of course, because it's a vine. And then I knew where the top of the pattern was at. And I was like, yay, I'm almost to the top. Stitching along, and I get ready to put on one of the flowers, and it's supposed to line up with the stuff I've already done. And it's not lining up. And I went, why is this not lining up? And that's when I realized that when I was doing the vine, which luckily, thank you God, I had only done the vine. I had not done all the other stuff around it. I had done one of those things where you only go over one thread instead of two. So I had shifted everything over one thread on the top. So I couldn't work with that because it was going to mess everything up. My mother would have said, just fudge it. And I'm like, no, because it'll throw things off. So I went and picked out all the vine, restitched it, and then started putting in the flowers. Now I'm happy. Everything's lining up. But I mean, all of a sudden, the flowers were like one thread over, and it's like, wait, they should all, 2 stitches should be 2 stitches all the way up, but I'm not getting 2 stitches. Now I'm getting 2 and 2. So it was doing this thing. And I was like, no. And at first my thought was, oh my God, how far down did I mess this up? And that's when I realized it was towards the top, and it was just that vine. And I was like, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I have since finished the vine and put in the flowers in that area. And I'm almost ready to move over a little bit and move into the center, which is a lot more. I don't know if you know what the word mille fleurs means. It's French for thousands of flowers or many flowers. There is candy and there is some glass work that I have seen. Y'all may remember the little teeny candies from, at least when I was a child. To be perfectly honest, they didn't taste very good. They're little circles, and every little circle has a little teeny flower in it. And you would get a bag full of them, and they would all have all these different colored flowers. Well, that's mille fleurs, and they did that with glasswork. And if you've ever looked at the French tapestries, the unicorn hunt, I think is what it's called, or the hunt, and it's the woman on all the red tapestries with the woman, and it's got the unicorn and the hunting dogs and all the other animals and everything on there. She's surrounded by flowers. That's mille fleurs. That's what's on the unicorn tapestries by the tiny Modernist. I have been working on it again. As I said, I'll make sure I put a picture of it here. It's on a floor stand, so it's not as easy to go, ta-da! I want to get the floor stand finished, the piece done, so I can take it off the floor stand, because I only have one frame set for that, one bar set. That way I can move over one of my other pieces to that and get to work on that. I work on the floor stand when my shoulders are hurt, because I have some arthritis, and when my arms hurt, I can't hold a frame. So that's when I work on my floor stand, is when I need to be able to work in front of me. Anyway, I hope you all have a great day stitching. I hope that you have no frogs. No frogs today or this week. No frogs this week. I'll give you a whole week without frogs. But anyway, I hope you all have a great day stitching. This is Becky, the South Texas Stitcher, saying bye.